Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Joseph Goodman, and this is, you guys introduce yourselves.
I am Michael Curtis, and of course, the reason we're all here is...
Hey guys, I'm Harley Stroh, and I'm the author of DCC 100, The Music of the Spheres is Chaos.
And we're here to talk about this Kickstarter and update you on some stretch goals. As you guys may know, the Kickstarter has done well, and we're about to run out of stretch goals, which is a good problem to have. So we're here to talk about that, tell you what we've cleared so far, then cover some of the cool and exciting new options we have coming up. And I have to say, actually, briefly, an aside, my favorite comment so far in the Kickstarter was when we were, I think this might have been the launch show, but we were discussing and talking about spinning all the circles. And somebody was like, I was promised spheres, not circles. So guys, I appreciate all the attention to detail in the background so far. And sorry, all we got right now is circles. The title is spheres, but the printing process limits us to 2 dimensions at the moment.
And there, I will spoil it now. There is not a stretch goal for spheres. We're not turning into a dimensional map.
We are limited, yes. So it's gone well so far, though, and it's kind of amazing. Harley's been working on this for a while. Then I was working on it, editing, and then Mike came along and finally brought it over the finish line. And it's amazing, the reception so far. And it just, all the energy is great. So I figured we could start by talking about, we've already talked about the project itself. So just to say it, if you're new here, let's actually drop the link to the Kickstarter in the, let me drop this in the chat. So if you're new here, you can see what we're talking about. We're talking about this Kickstarter, and go there, check it out. There's a great launch video where you can see some mock-ups of it and so on, but that's the actual project itself. But now to talk about some of the stretch goals we've cleared. And Harley and Mike, you guys jump in as we go here, but the first one is a whole bunch of additional player handouts.
Yeah. And
there's a lot of amazing encounters here. So tell us, Harley or Mike, whoever wants to jump in, like, what are these handouts going to show? What are some of the things like we wish we could have, had art for that now we can afford to fund?
Well, like the lead in the entire inciting incident of spheres involves a handout puzzle that the players like need to be able to tactilely work with. And so then there's a few different handouts like that. And so having those like knocked out early so that the players can have, really cool handouts that they can work with. But then also, when I wrote the adventure, the intent was a lot of it was going to be really cinematic. And so like there's these grand vistas. And so you're marching up, this enormous mountain, and for all the flavor text in the world can't capture what it feels like to be blinded by the snow as it's whistling down the mountain, and your pony froze 50 yards back, and you've been eating the shoe leather as you're trying to and so all that flavor text which would be obnoxious to read, you can like show a player, and like you could put the art down in front of them. That's why art is so important to RPGs. And so there's a ton of encounters in here that like are visually really cool to look at and can visually offer clues to their solution if you can see them. And so thank you for all the backers for knocking all of those handouts, so just like one and done. I think it was the first day that you guys took care of all that.
Yeah, so those will be great. And then the next one we cleared was updating the map to heavy cardboard. And you guys,
so sweet.
Sure, yeah, you guys saw the launch show, I'm sure. We all, actually, I have mine here. Let me grab the printer mock-up. So I'm sure you guys all saw, we had the printer mock up exactly what this would be like with this, spinning maps and everything. But this is it's called 10.C1S, but that's the card stock that's used in the covers of modules. And we all said, wouldn't it be cool if this was, actually felt like a board game? And Monopoly is like my, I don't know what, mental benchmark for what a good thick board game should feel like. So I told the printer, can you make it like Monopoly? And they said yes. So we're going to have a nice big thick board for this, which will be great, and it'll just feel even more substantial. And then we have the Sheaves of Chaos, which is a really cool puzzle. Harley, you want to remind us all the origin point for this?
Yeah, so like about 10 years ago, this guy Joseph Goodman is like, oh guys, you remember Mad Magazine? They had these really cool puzzles in them where if you're, spoiler alert, if you're gonna play it, like shut off your speaker for the next 30 seconds. But where you would fold in the sides of the picture, and it would make a whole new picture out of that. And like you've been asking us for almost a decade now, like, hey guys, we have to use this really cool puzzle. And then I found, I think there was medieval monks, like they thought this was like clever, like hidden code writing. Like that's actually a thing that existed that they would like write lines of music, which was amazing. I found, I was like, oh my god, the spheres of chaos is real. And they would fold down the lines of music, and you would have a hidden message done by these monks. It was actually really cool. And yeah, so that's one of the sheaves of chaos. And again, to have those out of a more durable material that can feel substantial, that your players can look at and play with and test with and hold it up to the light and try to do like divine clues from these things, is going to be really important.
Yeah, like the best kind of puzzle, I think, is the kind where the players have to engage. And it's not like, oh, I made my intelligence check, do I figure it out? But they get something or see something or experience something, and then they have to engage with it and puzzle through it and figure it out. And the Sheaves of Chaos, this handout, even printed on like my office printer, it's really cool. But I think this, having it be on, what we got to talk to the printer, whatever stock we get, like vellum or a thick, heavy stock of some kind, would be really cool. And then the players can really feel like they're out there solving a mystery. So, yeah, the Mad Magazine fold out. That's the clue. Hopefully none of the players hear that. But once you play around with it for a while and start folding, you'll figure it out.
It's now like over 50 years old, so I think we'll be okay. Like, Mad Magazine, what's that?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll start where we have to eat the sheaves in order to find out the answer, and then we'll send replacement sheaves for the next time you do it. That's
yes. And then the next one we cleared was the second game board, and this is a cool idea. So we have this, which is the main game board, but out of this came the idea of, what if we just printed this blank, or maybe with grid lines? So we got to figure that out, and let readers actually create their own spinning wheel dungeons. And you can use all the wheels. You can take off one and just have two of the outer rim or whatever. And so we're actually going to include a blank game board in there. And it's up to you guys to fill that in how you want. You can make it up on your own, or some of the third-party publishers out there could, create something that is like you buy it and download it and print it out and put it on your board, and you have your own version of it or whatever. But I think it's an awesome way to expand on this concept and let you guys experience the creativity on your own and create your own spinning wheel dungeon. And then one of the questions in the Kickstarter was dry erase, whether it'll be dry erase compatible or not. It basically depends on whether we do lamination or not. Lamination makes it dry erase compatible. If you don't do lamination, then it works better with a ballpoint pen. But based on the comments we've gotten so far, it sounds like everybody wants dry erase. So we'll probably go that direction. And that's actually, G-Blaster had a good comment in the chat. Or give the players the blank board and let them map the dungeon themselves. That's actually a great call. Although that kind of gives away the structure with the circles, but still, I don't know. That's kind of cool.
But not if they had studied the Sheaves of Chaos. That's why my players had such a hard time. Like, it's all hidden in there if they managed to study the thing enough. And like, my players Monday night, like, they had just opened the packages and none of it made sense to them, and so they're going to run around like headless chickens. But if like, well, and again, spoiler alert, but there's the potential to make for the arrangements like I don't know. I think our puzzles are often too hard. Like, if a player gets into it and is able to like map it out and try to puzzle out what's going where, I think it makes a lot of sense. That's really cool.
Yeah. Cool. And then the last one, the 150K, that as of right now, we're closed in on rapidly, but not quite there, is more cults of the Theophages. Yes. And Harley, you had some cool ideas on this, and some folks in the comments had some cool ideas. Maybe tell us where we're going with this one.
Yeah. So the Theophages, the God Eaters, when they're the Philosopher Kings, when their city of Agman was destroyed by barbarians, that's when they took the Sheaves of Chaos and they marched up, to the highest mountain of the known world and bored out the center and created the Grand Limbic, right? But like any philosophy anywhere in any time, there were schisms, and not all of the Theophages, believed in this, that this is the one way that we're going to ensoul and capture chaos. And so there's been these schisms that have been allowed to grow and prosper and flourish, and maybe some of them fell away and died for a while, or maybe they came back, or maybe they assumed their own desire for divinity, and so there's like lich Theophages and undead Theophages, and I have a really cool monster one. But anyways, so we're going to take this base concept that the Theophages, their prime defining goal is to shirk the mastery of the gods, like cast out the gods so that they can assume their own mastery of themselves and their destinies. Well, and how does that manifest in different cultures throughout DCC worlds? And so we're going to take the author list hasn't been decided yet, but we're going to take the best DCC authors that we know, that we have access to, and perhaps some of the newer up and coming authors, and myself and these folks are going to write up these cults of the Theophages and see how else they've manifested, so that when you guys come out of the mountain at the end of this adventure, if the player characters manage to survive, there's villains out there that the PCs might not even be aware of. They're still hungering for these sheaves of chaos that are in the player's possession. And so you can take those cults and those splinter groups and weave them into the next 2, 3, 4 adventures.
Just when they thought they were safe.
Yeah.
Turns out they weren't. That's great.
And if we hit enough money on the stretch goals, I will not write up the Theophages who were on the keto diet and then couldn't figure out if whether the gods were keto sensitive or not. So
the phage part takes on new meaning. Okay.
Can we eat this god? I don't know. There's a lot to find out.
So that's where we're at in the stuff that's been sort of announced and published so far. Now, with the momentum of this Kickstarter, it's awesome, and it opens up some new possibilities. So now we're going to talk about some of those new possibilities. And the first new possibility is dice. So Elena, if you could pull up the first dice picture, which is the Earth themed dice. So the adventure, huh? So this is
first stretch goal. Come on down.
Yeah, exactly. Bob Parker, you're the next contestant on the Music of the Spheres is Chaos. So this is and so guys, this is more add-ons than stretch goals, but we've been working with the folks at Impact Dice, and Harley had this vision for the module that has 4 elements, which are slightly different from the usual ones. You have earth, fire, water, and then void. And you guys are going to get to vote on one of these dice colors, which we'll get to in a sec. But we're going to offer add-on dice. So there'll be traditional like DCC tube dice, which I'm sure you all have, 14 dice in the set, the complete dice chain, include the tube with the insert and so on. And I think we just awarded Harley that he has to write the inserts. So if you don't mind,
I'm on board. No, that's so much fun. It's a tiny little space. You try to pack as much in as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And so the first dice set will be the Earth dice set, themed to Earth. And this is, you're seeing a design that the Impact Dice folks are able to work up for us. The dice is right. Sorry, that's great. The comment. I think we have the name of a new show. We've already been talking about Harleywood squares, which we still have to do one of these days. Dude, it'd be so good. I think we really have to do it. The dice is right.
Good is a relative term. That's in
Okay. All right, back on track. So anyway, the Earth dice. So those are available now as an add-on for $35. So anybody who already pledged, you can add that on. Then there'll be the fire dice. So Elena, if you can show those. These are, and I think we were debating the exact Pantone, which might change, but basically it'll be kind of a reddish orange swirl look. And you can add those on, and they're actually, you can add them on now. So we'll talk about how to add them on in a sec. Then we have the water dice, which is this kind of navy bluish white swirl.
I love that color. Like that color looks so cool.
No, it is awesome. And these are all themed to the adventure itself, and Harley's going to be able to add a little bit of content to the dice insert that expands the concepts of the adventure itself, which is just a really cool way to do dice. But then the exciting part is the void option. So Elena, if you can show the options for void dice. So we talked to the folks at Impact Dice, and Harley shared some of the ways he had described the void in the adventure and sort of how he visualized it. And they actually had a lot of good ideas for how we could potentially do this. And we basically couldn't decide, so we're going to let you guys decide. So tomorrow on the Kickstarter, which you'll see in the next update, is a voter poll, definitely number 4. Well, everybody gets to vote, but we have 1 vote in already. You guys can pick which of these 4 you like. I think I like number 2 and number 3. I guess I like the sparkly. What do you guys like?
I'm a fan of number 1.
Yeah, I'm with Mike on this one. But
really?
But Tom at Impact, he liked a completely different one than you did, Joseph. That wasn't the same one that Mike and I like.
Yeah. Well, and keep in mind also the actual colors on the dice lines or numbers might change as well. He can do gold or yellow or white, so that can, but anyway, the point is you guys will get to vote. So start thinking on it. This will be cool. So you'll have to pledge before you know the final answers. You'll have to pledge, and then you might, get the one that's a little less your favorite, but still, I think they're all pretty cool.
So, but Joseph, really quick. So the images are all just the traditional, like, boring dice. Are we going to get to do the real, like, Impact, like all the weird dice?
The D3, the D7, let's see,
D5,
the 5, the 14, so all that stuff will be in there. 16,
okay,
30, 24. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So it'll be the whole 14 dice set.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Harley mentioned in an email to me, it's like, this is going to be the schism that tears the community apart.
Oh,
The great
seriously,
dice
yeah.
wars. It's like, I want number 4. No, number 1.
Tattooed, I'm number 1.
Yes. But we all like green, right? We can all line up. We all like green. Look for what's the problem. Anyway, so the point is you can add these on. So if you've already pledged, which you probably have if you're watching this, you can go to Kickstarter, click manage my pledge. Actually, I think it says manage your pledge. And then in there, you select your reward tier, go to the next page, and you'll now see a bunch of add-on options. So those add-on options are any of these 4 dice, with the green one to be exact color TBD once we vote on it. Cool. So that's where we are so far. Now let's talk about the new stretch goals. So Elena, if you can show the rolling screen that shows the 175K. So at 175K, we're going to have a new song from Loot the Body. Now, if you're in the chat and you've heard of Loot the Body, tell us about it. I think a lot of you guys have heard their songs on YouTube, or actually we played them at the last online con we ran. And Loot the Body is a group that, there you go. Thanks, Harley. They're all, actually, Harley, how would you describe them? I know what I would say. How would you describe Loot the Body's music?
Oh, I think Dak said it best. He's like, like a lot of our stuff is like death metal, doom metal, and it's more like psychedelic rock. Yeah.
And it's all inspired by classic TSR modules, classic dungeon crawls. He even did, Elena, if you can show the flexi disc, like he recently did a flexi disc for Sailors on the Starless Sea, because he composed a song inspired by Harley's module, Sailors on the Starless Sea. And you can find that flexi disc in our online store.
That's so rad. That's really cool.
Actually,
That's really
we should
cool.
drop the link of that. Somebody drop the link to that in chat if you can, because it's a really cool, it's a really cool song and a really cool to have it on flexi disc format. So the 175K stretch goal is Loot the Body has done a song based on the music of the Spheres and Chaos, and every backer will get this song in MP3 format for free. In addition, they've agreed to do a very limited run of flexi discs. And when they produce these flexi discs, they'll be offered to backers, probably limited to 200 or maybe 300 copies. It's a hand process, so it's not something you can produce in mass. And so that is at 175K. Everybody gets the MP3, and we'll have a limited edition option to add on the physical flexi disc. So why don't we pause for a moment? And Elena, can you roll the first minute or so of the song so we can all hear it? All right, everybody. So that's the beginning part of the MP3 themed the adventure that Harley wrote that everybody will get at the 175K mark. So then 200K. So this is where, this is actually Harley's idea. We're gonna, and Elena, if you can show the classic AD&D permanent record, permanent character record, that's inspiration. We're gonna do basically a really fancy character record folio. So the idea would be when you open it up, it's you pull out the 11 by 17 pieces of paper, which are obviously folded 8.5 by 11. And each one is a deluxe foil printed character sheet for one class. So you'll get 7 plus some additional content as well. And then Harley, you told me this was inspired by when you were younger, and these sort of permanent record sheets were just such an upgrade, or everybody's like scribbled out like.
Yeah. Well, like you've erased it, your hit points 100 times on that original character sheet, and then so to finally, if you make it out of the the music of the Spheres is Chaos, like you clean up good, Reaver. Like now it's time to look like it. So you get to I don't know. It's just like going back. Did you guys ever do this? Like when your character got really good, you would like rewrite the whole character sheet, and it's like, all right, now I have 67 hit points. I'm a 7th level ranger, and so this is the chance to do that. Like your character has made it through 5th level. there's a chance for 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th and 10th still to come. And so you need a really cool character sheet to record all that. And like the 11 by 17 would give us space to like, okay, what are your holdings? Who are the people he knows, he or she knows? Like, are they still being chased out of Lankmar? Are they still being hunted in Puja? Like all these, just an opportunity to like, capture, these characters that we grow to love. There was he was a Gong Farmer was with a 5 strength and a 7 luck when I started him 3 years ago, and now look, he's a 5th level, almost 6th level thief, and he just saved the universe from this titanic 4-headed dragon that burst out of a mountain. Damn it, that deserves a character sheet. So yeah, I'm really excited for him. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. This is actually really cool.
I said this was kind of the experience of having to do that handwritten character sheet you did on like a sheet of notebook paper, and then like you filled everything in, and then back in the day you got a copy of that sweet goldenrod advanced D&D character sheet. It's just like, it was.
But you only had like 5 of those sheets, right? And so like each one was so precious. Yeah. Wait, exactly. So Joseph, can you recap? So there's going to be like a really sweet, like really like a foil printed character sheet. I mean,
yeah,
I know that's what it says, but that's cool.
The goal is to have a fancy, well, as they put it in AD&D, permanent character record. This is your permanent record here.
We have to,
your detention, your report card. It's all on
at the very end, because it's DCC, DCC on the flip side at the very end, last part of it, like cause of death. We need to have like a little illuminated box where like we know he's going to go down or she's going to go down, and you can finish that out when the character.
Actually, perishes. We should have little like Scantron check boxes, immolation.
I remember the old goldenrod sheet. They had like the space for a will, so you could like leave all your stuff to like Joe, the 1st level Gong Farmer, the 0 level Gong Farmer who's coming out of Heorot, any moment now. You can have my +5 sword. It won't do you a lick of good, but you can have it.
No, that's good. All that stuff. Yes, the idea will be it'll be if you open up a regular module, like I have a stack right here, like these pages are actually hey, look at that, Doom of the Savage Kings. I just pulled randomly. So we look at these 8.5 by 11 pages, but they're actually 11 by 17. And if you don't staple them, they're easy to take out and they become 11 by 17. So we can just have these be 11 by 17, really nice character folios. And there's, total of 7 for, 1 for each class. And then we'll have a leftover page that we can put an introduction in, or how to use the sheet or whatever. Or I don't know, something like that. That's the idea. It's open-ended, but
suitable for framing. So when you save the universe, play, Music of the Spheres, you can just frame it, retire it, just put it up on the wall and walk away.
Right next to your diploma. No, that's good. I like it. All right, cool. Let's see. So that's 200K. And basically every box set will come with these if we make that level. So that'll be great.
It'll be awesome. Now
let's talk about 225K, which is what we're calling, for lack of a better term, Mike's crazy album cover judges screen. So Mike, tell everybody about the album you brought to like every con in 2019.
So one of the things this is a big map. Like as you can see, like when Joe had everything, this is like it's like 20, was it like 22 inches?
It's like huge. This is a module compared to the size of the map. Right, yes, right. It's really big.
So it's a big map. So we were like that's just not going to hide behind your 3-panel, judges screen. So I was like, we're going to have to get like at least like 3 judges screens as a stretch goal or everything. But then I remembered, it's like back in the before times, back before when I was going to conventions, I wanted to claim enough tables space so I could have all my stuff there and that. So I started using a Yes double album, because it was you could fold it out and it had cool, fantasy artwork on it and everything, and I could put it down there and it was like, put all my stuff behind it. And
that's cool.
I showed it to Joe at one point, and I was just like, you like my judge's screen? And Joe was like, we should do something with that. And it got filed away in the file drawer where ideas go. And then when we were coming around this, I said, and I went and got that judge's screen out, and I put down my copy of the printed map, and then on top of it, and it fit perfectly.
It fits perfectly. It's like it was meant to be. I think you said in your email it was written in the ancient scrolls.
Right.
Exactly. And I mean, and the entire theme of this adventure is music. So an album cover, like a double album cover judges screen sounds perfect to me.
No,
So,
it's great. And what's really, honestly, it's hard to remember anything from pre-COVID, but like the more I thought about this, I was like, yeah, we did talk. I think it was Gen Con 2018 or 2019. We did talk about this. And then I was like, I think because you mailed your album to the printer, because the quote process, I was like, we're going to mail you an album. Can you like quote this without the record, but then like put our words on it. And so the printer actually had the record of like the fact that they returned the album cover and like the quote. So we're getting the quote updated, but it's actually kind of expensive, but that's why it's a stretch goal. I mean, and I don't know how we're going to mail it because it doesn't fold nicely to any size really. But
yeah, so let's clarify. This is at that level. This opens up as an add-on, right? This is not a set.
No. They'll actually get it. So 200K.
Oh, okay. Right.
Sorry,
we were talking about like this is the craziest idea we've ever done.
No, it is crazy. But like, so just to be clear, you're not getting a Yes album. There's
no my Yes album.
No vintage rock albums. What you're getting is a GM screen that is proportioned to 4 album covers, basically, front and back, which is frankly a lot of space. So it's going to have like, what are we even going to put on there? I mean, that's like enough room for a normal GM screen and another like 50 to 75% more tables.
That's a good problem to have. I love so we've done for like final stretch goals have always like we've done nunchucks, we've done the blacklight poster.
Dude, I got my nunchucks right here.
Right,
I gotta have nunchucks. I actually keep them hidden. This was the printer one, so I keep them hidden behind I don't want my kids to find the nunchucks. Like I'm pretty sure that will not go well, and they'll wind up getting expelled from school for bringing daddy's nunchucks. But so I keep them kind of hidden behind the printer screen. But yeah, we should.
Yeah, I just love that this final stretch goal is no less crazy than our prior like crazy stretch goals. You're gonna have like
that's true.
As we've been
black
saying,
light DM screen or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
DCC 100 only comes around once, so if it's time to go crazy, this is the time to do it. So
actually, I like that idea. Blacklight. We haven't actually printed. We did the blacklight velvet poster. We haven't actually done. I don't think we've done blacklight printed goods. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I could have some printer that can print blacklighting.
And we make this mini map blacklight and it in ultraviolet ink.
You're seeing it live, people. This is how the sausage is made here at Goodman Games. As we say crazy stuff, and Joseph's like, I bet we could do something like that.
Then of course you got to run the adventure in the dark. Nobody can... Turn off the lights. I got to check the results on the table. Like.
I mean, people like we produce, and we're not the only people who produce glow in the dark dice. And you're like, I mean, that's a great thing, but like practicality.
Yeah, no, I know. Not so practical. Anyway, so we'll definitely do the huge album-sized judges screen because it's the only way to actually hide this map from the players. And it'll have all your usual tables as needed. Plus, we'll fill out the space with other stuff because there's a lot of room. Mike, do you have your high school portrait? Maybe we should put your high school portrait on there.
Ooh.
It feels only appropriate.
That's true.
I think so. I think, I think we just do, like I said, I think we do need like a mock-up of like, we either use the band or we use the fake band. And then, we take like we take some of like 10, 12 tracks, names off of like the Sea Queen escapes and, and like we can't
actual
like sky,
album.
but, we use like some of the, we make it up, we fake it up, and we give, Elena is like producer on it, and it's like we said, and Matt is like cover artist, or is it we just we give everybody stuff, and we can, I mean we have fun. I mean, why not?
That could work. So that's 225K, and you're right, Mike. Everybody will get one for free, or at least if you're a print backer. PDF, you'll get a PDF, and then you have to find some way to print this thing. But the print backers all get it, and then you can also add on others as well. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool, I think. All right, and then the other stretch goal. So that gets us to 225K. We have other ideas past that, and we'll deal with that if it comes. The other idea is that we're going to do one of those stretch goals, which is basically share this project. So if enough people share the project, we'll add in something else, and we'll give you details on this in a couple of days. The idea is we'd like to do the poster of 100 covers, which will technically be more than 100 covers, because we've done, even though it's number 100, we did all the 0.5s and Lightmar and NCC and the con specials. So it'll basically be a poster of all the DCC cover art, which will look really cool. We actually did, I have it hanging over there, you can't really see it, but we did a couple of years ago in the 3rd edition era, a poster that had the cover art of the first, whatever it was, 40 or 50 at that point. But this will include into the 40 era, into the DCC era, into the Lightmar era. Just a really cool big poster of all the different cover art. So we're going to give you guys details in a couple of days on sharing. Basically, if we can get 1,000 people to share this project, you know, in various ways, tweet it, Facebook, whatever, then everybody's going to get one of these posters, which will be a really cool add-on.
And if,
a really cool stretch goal, I should say.
If we make it to DCC 200, we'll have a tapestry, is what you have. Is this what?
I don't think any of us know. Like, Joseph, do you know the number of like DCCs with covers? Like, it's quite.
No, I don't. We should probably figure that. I guess we'll figure that out when we get this poster.
Yeah. It's
185.
It's quite a bit. I mean, yeah.
No, you're right. For being number 100, this is actually probably like number 120 or 130 or something. It's a lot.
Well, I mean, the Sailors on the Stars of the Sea, there's like 20 covers alone just on that. So, you know, it's like, you know.
That's a good point. If you get into cover art variants, in addition to.
We can't do the variants. No, that's
probably
just
not.
insane. Yeah.
It'd be too big.
Yeah.
Although that would be cool. There's only so many variants. I mean, it's mostly Sailors on the Starless Sea. Like,
it's like a 4x8 poster already. Like, just shipping alone is going to be insane.
Here's what we do. So we print the poster, which has all the 100 normal covers on it, and then we print the variant covers in ultraviolet ink. So you have to turn the black light on in order to see those.
That's pretty cool. You guys remember the poster of Vampirella that was like the 6-foot tall poster you're supposed to hang behind your door?
Yeah.
Not Vampirella, but I remember like the door poster thing.
Yeah, like the door poster thing. Like,
yeah.
We could also, my point is, maybe we do a door poster.
That'd be cool.
Like,
that'd be cool.
If all the art's like, I guess, you know, whatever, a certain size, you know, you could see. I don't know who prints door posters anymore. But
it needs to be large enough that you can actually see the cover art, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they're all little like tiny squares, then it defeats the purpose.
I'm sure there's somebody in Berkeley who still prints like, you know, door posters. I'm sure you can find one, Joe.
You're right. You walk through the smoky mist, like, you have black lights, door posters, and nunchucks. You know, it's like, I also do taxes.
Book publisher. But hold on. But Grape Ape asks, is this going to include the different DCC cover, like the core book covers as well? That's a great
good idea.
Yeah,
I think it probably should. I mean, we're definitely in the door poster territory now.
If we hit $400,000, we're gonna have like the official DCC beaded curtains too. Go through in order to get to the door poster.
Yeah.
Oh, they can make them out of 20-sided dice, right? Like,
put them in the back of the Wizard Vantage.
Oh, we totally need to start working on those. How do you drill out a die? All right, project.
And if we had 500K, we're doing the DCC smoke machine. So like,
Everyone gets one.
500,000. We have the DCC lava lamp.
There it is.
Made with actual lava. That's
yes. The fire element.
Whew.
All right. Wow, this is good. This is how we brainstorm. This will be fun. So now I think that's the basic stretch goal lineup. And folks, if you're watching this, we're going to update the Kickstarter with this info, you know, in the next hour or two after the show. So thank you for all the support so far. Help us get there and keep on driving. Yeah. Remember, you can add on add-ons right now. And actually, we should show Elena, if we can do a screen share of my screen, we'll show people how to add on the dice, because we can actually do that now. All right, so everybody out there, this is basically like my test account, so I pledged for my own Kickstarter, but you get the idea. So if you want to add on the add-ons, which is the dice, and hopefully we'll also include the flexi disc and so on. If you're looking at Kickstarter, you'll see right here, it says manage your pledge. It also says that down below in blue right here as well. So I've seen people ask for directions, and some people are like, you click the blue button, and other people are like, you click the green button. So there's a blue button and a green button, and they both work. I don't know why they're different colors. So click manage your pledge if you've already pledged to it. And you'll see here, oh, nobody look at my credit card number. You'll see here, it says down below, change your pledge. Can we like blur this out when it goes on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so then you'll see here, you pick your pledge level, you can change levels or whatever you want.
Yeah.
You click your pledge. And then it says configure reward, and you have all your options for add-ons. So you have on right now, you'll see the dice sets, earth, fire,
wow.
void, water. And void is the one you guys will get to vote on to see which version of green we have. But earth, fire, and water are all live now. So feel free to go in there. Also, there's the quick start rules, which say free. We tried to make them free, but Kickstarter requires us to charge at least $1, which is why it says free, and it's $1. And we're not allowed to change the name once somebody's pledged, so it still looks weird. But anyway, add on first time fan kits, quick start rules, or dice, then you're good to go.
That's amazing.
All right, so I will unshare my screen now.
Free-ish.
Free-ish. Yes. Free-ish. Yes. All right.
Free to
cool.
a good home, $1 to you.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, everybody. If there's any other questions, we're happy to answer them, either chat here or post comments on the Kickstarter. Thanks for all the support. It's awesome to see this adventure come to life. And as Harley says, this really is like once in a generation. There's only so often that we have a chance to do number 100 in the series, or just an adventure this wild and evocative.
I was looking at some of the numbers of the previous ones, all right. So this one is already the highest funding adventure that we have put out. It isn't the campaign stuff is still higher than this, but this has beat Chain Coffin, this has beat Peril on the Purple Planet, this has beat Devil Lich. So this is the champ of adventures currently. So and I think that number is only going to go up. So the number is like Dying Earth was like 350,000. So if we beat Dying Earth, there we go.
In that case, we're gonna have another one of these shows and cook up some more stretch goals. So the lava lands and beaded curtains might be real. We'll see.
It's up to you people out there. That's it. This is it.
We want lava lamps, guys. You got to have something to go with your nunchucks.
At one point, it just becomes stretch tchotchkes is what that is.
I know. Actually, the best part about the nunchucks was it turns out Jim Con has a weapons policy, which I learned when we tried to sell nunchucks. You learn something new every day.
Right, we had to put stickers on every one, right? Like, do not open this until you're outside Gen Con.
Do not attack your judge.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that fondly.
Yes. All right. So we have a question in the survey, or in the chat. I mean, will the dice be available as an add-on in the survey too, or only while the Kickstarter is live? They will also be available later as in the survey process. So yeah, so you can pledge now or pledge later. But if you want to help us get to the stretch goals, please pledge now. And then G Blaster says, weird, Kickstarter just skips straight to the confirm step, no add-ons. So great point. If you pledge, so first of all, the Kickstarter add-on functionality is new in the last couple months, and it can sometimes be quirky from what people told me. So if you pledge PDF only, it will not give you the dice options because they're physical. It doesn't let you, Kickstarter doesn't let you mix and match. So that might explain your issue. And if that's the case, you can always add on later in the backer kit survey. And it looks like a couple of people aren't getting it. So in that case, what you can do is actually, can I share screen again real quick, Elena? I know we have to get off for the next show shortly. Let me show you guys one more possibility. Let me log in.
Can we do just the add the dollars?
Exactly.
It's looking like the folks that pledged early, for whatever reason, it may not be appearing on their menu.
Yeah. So Elena, I'm going to share my screen. Are we good to go? All right, cool. All right. So folks, when you click manage your pledge, if you had one of the limited edition pledge options, and again, this, my understanding is Kickstarter may not let you change your pledge in that case or add-ons. What you can do is right here, the bonus support, basically put, $35 a dice set there. And then later on, when we send out the survey, you can then say, oh, that was for the earth or the water or whatever it might be, and apply it towards the dice set.
Cool.
And hopefully that works for those of you who are having sort of issues. Yeah, so G Blaster, okay, so see if that works too, G Blaster and others, let us know.
Sweet.
Cool. And so guys, after us comes, oh wait, change your pledge. Okay, Grape Ape has some great suggestions here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's like the same pledge. And yes, you can add funds later as well. So cool, do the best you can, folks. And we have to get off Twitch because there's another great show coming up after us. And we'll try our best to accommodate you. And if we can't answer you here, just post in the comments in the Kickstarter.
We'll be back on Friday, right, for the retro show. So
good point. DCC retrospective on Friday. Yeah,
we'll have all the issues solved by then.
Yes, definitely. And stay tuned on the Twitch channel. In about 20 minutes, Joey Royale is bringing us his next pizza party. If you didn't see the first one, it was awesome. And can't wait to see what he has in store tonight. All right, cool. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Good night, guys. Thanks for backing.
Right.